This is a project for the University of Malaga that aims at bringing together the university, the students with the world of firms, and we aim in this case to go in depth with the problem of services marketing and how enterprises face the topics related on this. It's a collaboration with the University of Westminster and the professor José Luis Ruiz Alba, and we found this common aim of research. So why do you think this enterprise is good to go in depth with services marketing?
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting company, MDG. It's a company that takes advisors, and they are very well positioned in Malaga in the business segment, and 85% of the customers are businesses, and 95% of the new customers that they have are recommendations from previous customers, and they have a very interesting ecosystem. They are well positioned in the professional services. Selling professional services is not easy, and they have the USP of the excellence in service. And we have identified strong consistency between the internal customers, the external customers, the ecosystem. That's why we chose this company. And I agree with you that the students should not be seen only as students. This is a very low level. A higher level is to see them as learners. I always like to talk to them and say, look, you are learners, not just a student. But with this project, we want to bring them to a higher level, not just learners, from a passive perspective. We want to get them engaged as co-creators. So they are co-creators of this material. So in fact, they are involved in the selection of the company, in the questions, in the case study, and then we create this environment in which we academics, we learn from the students learn from us, we learn from the business practitioners. So we create this community of practice that is very interesting.
Miriam, can you please tell us about your company, a bit of your history, sector or business lines?
MDG Advisors was set up 11 years ago with the clear idea of providing high-quality services traditionally provided by bigger firms to the medium and small company. We started being very, very small, but we have naturally grown together with Malaga, and we are currently very focused to the international investors and the IT sector, although we also have traditional clients.
About your marketing strategy, could you define very briefly which is your unique selling point?
Well, that would be what we always say. We are always in constant search for excellence. In all fields, really. We want to provide our clients with the best service, but we also are constantly searching for the best professionals to work with us. That was our leitmotif from the very beginning, and is something that clearly defines us firm.
And regarding differentiation from your competitors, how could you define your brand?
From the feedback we get from our clients and also with collaborators and prescriptors we work with us, we intend to be very proactive. We have an internal code whether we respond all our emails and calls within 24 hours. That usually is a lot less. So the client feels very protected and accompanied along the way. We set up the company in 2010 when there was a very big crisis, and I think we were growing together with our clients along the way, and it's something that they perceive as a probably important point.
And if we continue with the brand, how is the brand MDG known in Malaga? And how is MDG brand awareness? Which are the specific sectors where you are known?
Yes, I would say MDG, if you talk to people in the street, is not a very well-known brand. We're still very small, although in the niche we are, which is the IT international niche, I would say we are quite well known since we collaborate with the Malaga Town Hall. We got an award last year from AGE, Asociación de Jóvenes Empresarios, for the best business trajectory, and we also work with bigger corporation firms that recommend our services. So although we in general are not a big brand, we are well known where we need to be.
Could you say B2B is important in your company? Do you have recommendations from other firms, institutions?
The B2B relations are essential for us since I would say 95% of our clients comes through prescription. And how we build these relationships, always based on trust. When we first started, I was a 30 years old professional that no one will know, and it's not that easy to think that you can trust this girl to manage what is a very important side of the company. But along the way, we started being always trying to be very generous. We offer many reports for free, or we said try our services, and working with all these big professionals, mainly lawyers, because we are our services are in taxes and accountancy. We are all from the business side, so we don't do legal services. And these partners we started to collaborate with, at the beginning they try how it works, and I think they were quite satisfied. And now, along these 10 years, we have very solid relationships and that have been proved in many aspects and that work very well from both sides.
I'm talking about promises because marketing is about promises. Making promises to the market is easy, but keeping promises is different. So, in order to keep the promises, one key resource is employees. What do you do in terms of employer branding, attracting the best talent, keeping them? Do you integrate family values in this context?
Again, our leitmotif in constant search for excellence is not only about our clients. We know that a firm, and we noticed this a lot during the pandemic, because I wrote something in LinkedIn one day that I was inspired, saying that where there are no luxurious offices, no restaurant lunches, no events, you realize a professional firms is just a group of people working together to provide services. So what is more important is that we have the best professionals. How you do that? Because competing with bigger firms is not only about the clients, it's mainly about the talent. All these big fours, all students know them, and all students want to go to work for Price or EY. So we try to compete on that by keeping our promises as well. We offer the clients a continuous training program. We have flexibility of timetables, the possibility of working remotely. We want our employees that we call collaborators, we don't call them employees, because we think all of them will have the chance to one day become partners. We want them to be happy. We want them to have a great self-esteem, and we want to help them grow because by them growing, we know the firm is going to grow.
Imagine that we already have a customer and you need to provide the best service with excellence. How do you define the customer journey?
For us, it's very important the values we have and the values we want to maintain. It's all about being transparent, being very honest, and knowing deeply what you are doing. We provide services mainly in compliance, that we are very safe about our knowing. So we know what we are doing, and the complete journey starts by sending our letter of engagement, where we define in detail what we're going to do to the client. It's very important that the client up front knows and gets the proper and realistic expectation. because we don't want just to reach those expectations, but to exceed them. So from the moment they know what we're going to do, we start working with them, and we are very proactive. We focus always on the detail, and not just on what the client is requiring, but also on what we detect that could help them to improve their performance.
Regarding the selling process, do you have any TRM, or do you integrate marketing and selling practice?
Selling professional services will be a complex matter. When we first started, it was hard to get the trust of the clients because we didn't have any reference. We were very young, and what we really had is just good intentions, and it was hard to get the client empathize with what we were doing. After 10 years now, we have a position in the market, and many clients recommend our services. We also have many recommendations on internet. So selling is a lot more easier, and is a lot more about a client calling us and saying, I have a friend, or this company is working with you, I want to work with you, and try to reach a common agreement.
Please tell us about future business opportunities and specialization. Do you find special opportunities from Malaga technological position? Which are your future plans? Thank you so much.
The disruption of technology is everywhere, and we know that. So we have to be aware of that and prepare for the future. What we are intending to do in the firm is that we trying to focus on the consultory side of the business, and are working to make automatical many of the proceedings in accountancy and all those activities that are a lower value perception by the client. And we are tax advisors, we are accountants. We don't want to do, again, anything that we don't feel comfortable or that we are not prepared to do. But we know that due to the technology changes, we will have to focus on new sectors, new technologies. Like now we have in the digital money, we have many clients asking for that. So we don't have like a design path, but we are constantly working on the future and trying to be prepared for all the changes we are experimenting.